Hey, are you really still at Mom and Dad's house? Because, that would be pretty interesting if you still lived there.
What? Hi, Gracie. Whatever ended up happening with you?
Before we talk about all of that, I want to talk about how crazy it is that a woman in her 40s is still living with her mom and dad. Are you not embarrassed to be living with those two still?
Hold on a minute. It's been 10 years since you and I last talked to one another. And this is how you're going to start the conversation off? Where are you right now? Are you coming back home or something?
I just got back into town a bit ago. I went to have a look at how the house and mom and dad have been doing. And as I was out on the street having myself a good look, you came out of the house and surprised me. I was thinking you had moved away and gotten married already.
Well, I'm sorry. I have a lot of things going on with my life right now. So that's why I'm still around here and don't have a husband yet.
People that can't get married tend to say things like that a lot. I'm busy, or I have things going on. Well, whatever. Anyhow, I was pretty happy to get a good look at my older sister's face again after it's been so long. Now, I'll be going. Goodbye.
What? But you came all the way back to town, right? So does this mean you'll be living at home with all of us again?
That's kind of the plan, yes. So that's why, you need to get out of that house for me, please.
What?
Right now, I'm carrying a baby in my belly. I was thinking it'd be nice to come back home and have mom and dad take care of me while I'm pregnant, so that's why I'm here. I'm afraid that by having a single woman in her 40s who is still leeching off her parents to provide her a place to live and money might end up causing there to be some problems with my baby. So please, make it quick and get out of the house.
Wait, but if I have to leave the house, what will happen with mom and dad?
They'll be fine. I like to think that both mom and dad are far better than you, so they'll be completely fine with me. They even said it themselves that they'd rather have me in their house.
Wait, did you already talk with them about this?
We did. They think this whole idea of having me come home to replace you is a great plan. They were both so happy to hear that I'm coming back to live with them. That just goes to show that even after a decade has gone by, they still love me the most. Also, it's looking to me like they are sick and tired of you.
Sick and tired of me? I'm not sure they were talking about me.
Hey. Why would you try and say they were talking about me like that? Are you seriously not ashamed of yourself to be living with your parents still in your 40s? Well, I'm coming home now to have my baby, so a parasite like you needs to go.
Are you really sure that's what you want?
Get out of my way by the end of today.
So you're really feeling comfortable having me leave mom and dad's house? I'm telling you now that if I have to go, I will never be coming back, all right? I won't even bother to worry about anything that has to do with you and the house anymore.
You know, that's exactly what Mom, Dad, and I all want from you. You being in that house still is only causing problems for the rest of us.
So this means you'll be taking good care of both mom and dad in my absence, right?
Well, of course. They already seem to be doing very well by themselves, so... And if things get really out of hand for those two, I'll pay to have them placed into an old folks' home.
You do realize that doing something like that will cost a lot of money, right? Are you really okay with that?
Those two have a lot of money, right? Our family's always been pretty well off, so by having them both pay to leave this house and be taken care of by pros, I'll have the whole place to myself.
I hope you realize things were all right in the past financially.
I get it now. You are trying to keep me away from both mom and dad because you want to inherit everything from them, right? You really are a sly old woman, aren't you? This is why they've both come to hate you so much. You always did try and act like you were in charge of things all the time. How annoying all of that was.
So you are totally okay with having me leave that house forever and never ever coming back to it? Gracie?
I'm telling you, we are all wishing for it. you go out now and find yourself a new place to call home, okay? Don't tell me. You have no more money. I suppose that'd be the case, considering how long you've been leeching off of Mom and Dad.
I have money, so I'll be fine. But do you have enough money to manage things?
Well, of course I do, Tiffany. I have loads of money at my disposal. Now, I'll be getting all your things for you and throwing them out in the front yard, okay?
What? Hey, wait a second. Don't do that to my things.
Why can't I do that? You're no longer the leader of this house or anything, right? That means that this place is now ours again, and I can do whatever I want with the things that are in this house. If you don't like having me manhandle your things, then maybe next time don't leave them all in this room here.
Hey, hold on. A lot of that stuff I use for my job.
I'm sure your job is pretty meaningless anyway, right? I'll make sure all your monitors and your laptop get chucked the furthest for you. That way you don't have to worry about managing all the cables and stuff as you leave.
Why the hell would you do that? Is there really any reason for you to be tormenting me like this?
I have always hated the sight of you, as you tried to make yourself look like this good little girl in front of everyone. I don't care that you had all those good grades and were able to make so many friends. You had no right always acting like you were the best.
I was never trying to act like I was better than anyone else. And if anything, wasn't it you who was always being spoiled by Mom and Dad and never took anything seriously?
Anyhow, I really do hate your guts.
Well, so what? You can't just start taking all of my things and throwing them out into the yard because of the past.
I honestly never thought I'd come home to see you still living here. You'll only be around for today, so I have to make sure I bully you with what little time I have left.
Why the hell are you being such a jerk still?
Look, if you don't hurry home and get all your things, they will all be out in the front yard. That I'll have you know is still wet from the sprinklers.
Stop that. I'm coming back home right now. Ugh. Why is something like this happening now of all times?
It's because you've been trying to live off Mom and Dad for far too long when all you really are is a brain-dead loser. And now that you're fully aware of how we all feel, you don't have to come back here again. Gracie is saying that she'll be around now to take care of us, so there's no need for you anymore.
So you're really going to be cutting me out that easily now? Even though I gave up so much for you and Dad?
You're our daughter, so it's a part of your job to do that for us as a good child, right? Gracie is telling us that she has a lot of money now, and more than you even. She also just looks a lot better than you, physically. So we really don't need you around us anymore, Tiffany.
How hurtful, Mom. Has this always been the way you thought of me as your daughter? Perhaps you haven't even thought of me as your daughter since you used me for everything. Cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry, and even my money.
You made sure to get a housekeeper for us so that you didn't have to clean anymore. So how about you stop trying to act all tough by saying you've done everything for us?
Had I not hired someone to come and help, I would have never had time for my job. I have a job that had been paying for all of us, and it was also that job which was helping pay off yours and Dad's debt.
And from now on, Gracie will be handling all our debts, so we don't have any use for a child like you, right? Thank you for everything you helped out with.
Does Gracie even know about all of that?
By all of that, do you mean our debt? There's no reason to tell her about it. She told us right to our faces that from here on out, she's going to be our best daughter. So there's no reason to tell her anything because she already knows.
She's trying to be your best daughter. I don't think she has any idea what she's getting herself into, and I think you and Dad expect too much from the idea of what a good child is.
No matter what you try and say about us, Gracie seems to have way more money than you now, so we'll take her over you any day. Also, Gracie happens to be carrying a baby. That means she's still healthy and is looking after a family. You've never gone out and done anything to try and make a family, so both your dad and I have lost total faith in you.
I never had the time to go out and find a man, since I never had any days off. And we know who's to blame for that.
You can't be blaming others for your own faults, Tiffany. I guess it really doesn't matter how old you've become. You're never going to grow into a respectable adult.
And look who's talking. Well then, I'll just let you both get into trouble then by letting Gracie back into your house. Just be aware, I'm cutting ties to all of you now.
Go right ahead and piss off. I'm sure you're only wanting to cut ties to all of us because you're too jealous of your younger and more attractive sister, right?
I really do not give a damn about any of you.
All right. I hear you loud and clear. Hey, Tiffany. Listen, does Mom have any debt right now? Well, I just heard Mom on the phone talking with someone. She was talking about things like money with them and about paying some things off soon. I'm not sure if I was hearing it all clearly or not, so...
Well, you're pretty spot on with what you heard. Mom is in a lot of debt. Around $300,000 or so.
Huh? What? 300,000?
Also, she ended up getting into debt with a rather shady group of people. I was there to help pay a little bit of that debt over time, but now that you're in charge of her and Dad, you'll continue to pay that debt off for Mom, right? Mom was so happy to hear all of those things from you. About how you'd be stepping in for me now with all that money you have to help her pay off her debts.
What? I never said anything like that to her.
Even if you didn't say exactly that, you did say you'd be taking care of them from now on, and paying off that debt is a part of it.
But even if you say that, what the heck, 300,000? Why is she in that much debt?
Right after you ran away from us 10 years ago, the company that Dad owned went bankrupt. Had that been all that happened to him, then things would have been all right. But both Mom and Dad went off the deep end after filing for bankruptcy and started to gamble their worries away.
They started to gamble? And wait, Dad's company went bankrupt?
It did. And so for the past 10 years, neither of them have stepped up to start working again. So with all their free time, they'd go back to the casino again and burn their money. That's why I ended up having to take their place as the breadwinner of the house and work my job while paying off their debts. All while coming home and trying to get any chores done that I could.
Then the one who's responsible for them and Mom's debt now would be...
That's right. You went and took that responsibility from me. That's why from now on, I'm sure things will be very tough for you. So do your best.
Are you freaking kidding me? Why did nobody ever tell me about any of this before I came and took your place?
Well, I was thinking of telling you about it, but you were in such a rush to move into the house and have me kicked out.
So that's why Dad has always been at home this whole time. I asked him a few times how the company's been, and all he'd reply with is well.
I see. So it seems even Dad is still trying to keep what pride he has left. He must really enjoy having a daughter around that still had no clue he was no longer running a company.
Hey, can you please come back here? I can't live with these two in a situation like this. This is not the kind of house a pregnant woman should be living in.
No, thank you. I am never going back to that house and you guys ever again. I asked you plenty of times if you were really okay with kicking me out, and you said of course you were okay with it.
But I told you at the time I had no clue about the reality of Mom and Dad.
That does not matter. I have no reason to be helping you out any, and you sure should not be asking me for help after what you've done.
All my plans are starting to fall apart now.
Your plans are falling apart? What do you mean by that? Was there an alternative reason for you coming all the way back to be with Mom and Dad now?
I really can't use any of you guys for anything, can I? You all have so many problems. Nothing has changed at all in these past 10 years since I left you all. I'm done here. I guess I'll have to take what I can get.
Hey, what were you planning to have happen by coming back? What do you even mean by that? You'll have to take what you can get.
Shut up already. This has nothing to do with you now.
Weren't you the one that started talking with me asking for help? Don't be such a bitch and tell me what's going on with you.
Hey, what should I do? My purse and wallet are missing. I made sure to put it back in my backpack and all, yet it's not in there now. Why?
Huh? Why are you asking me something like that? I don't care about what happened to your stuff, and even if I did, I'm not living anywhere near you anymore.
You took it with you, right?
Ugh. I thought I told you already that I'm not going to help you. If you keep texting me about your problems over and over like that, I'm going to have to block you. You don't want that, do you?
What? What the hell is wrong with you, Tiffany?
Look at yourself before you start saying that crap about me. You really are more like Mom than I am. Well, fortunately enough, she likes you the most, and that's why she's most likely gone and taken your purse and wallet from you.
What?
Mom is not the most kind person, you know? I'm sure inside your purse you didn't just have cash, but all your cards and ID, right? I think she took all of that and ran.
Why? Why would Mom do something like that to her favorite daughter?
You're asking me why? The reason is as clear as day. She only cares about you because you're bringing money into the house, so she's going to make sure she gets that money. And I mean, you didn't help your situation at all, did you? Coming back after 10 years bragging about how you had more money than me? I'm not sure if you really do have all that money or not, but you having said all that to Mom made you her new target.
But when I came back here, I was still assuming that Mom and Dad had a lot of money and wouldn't care to get mine. The house is so huge and all. I thought that by telling them I was rich too, they wouldn't mind having me living in the house over you.
Don't tell me it was all a lie and that you really don't have anything. No. Gracie, did you come back home looking for money from Mom and Dad?
What? Hold on. That wasn't part of the plan, but,
So I was right about that. I see. You were having some money troubles, and so you came back home after being gone for a decade, acting all cool like you were just wanting a place to have your baby.
And so what? It's not like any of this has to do with you, right?
I'm just saying you came back to your parents who are worried about money, all because you're worried about money. That situation you're all a part of is going to get really dirty, real quick, I think. Oh, thank goodness. You were able to be accepted right back into your Mom and Dad's home. And thank God I was able to get out of there before things started to go sideways.
Hey, Mom. My purse and wallet aren't in my bag like they should be. Do you have any idea where they both could have went? What? If you're looking for those two things, I have them on me. I mean, you are back living at home with your dad and I again, so that means we all share our money, right? I'll give you your ID and insurance card back, so make sure you come see me to grab them. What? All of that money inside my purse and wallet is for something important. I would really like it if you gave all of my things back to me. Why should I do that? You came back into our house because you're going to be taking care of your mom and dad in Tiffany's place, right? Then it shouldn't be a problem that I have your purse and wallet on me. But, there's really no need for you to be holding on to my things, right? Oh, but there is. So I'll make sure to hold on to them for you. We made a promise after all, right? You could come back to live with us as long as you took great care of Dad and I. So that also means from now on, every month, I'll need you to help me pay off my debt. But wait, just wait. You were also saying before that you have a lot of money, right? That's what you said right to my face. Then it really shouldn't bother you at all that I have your money and credit cards, right? But Mom, I'm going to have a baby soon. Oh, that's right. And how is your husband doing? If he doesn't mind, call him and let him know he can move in with us. I'm sure he's working a pretty serious job now too, right? Well, he is working a job, but... Well then, how about you give me his number and I'll give him a call so that I can ask him personally. I would also like to have a word with him since it'll be my first time speaking to him. Now, can I have his number, please? Let me think about it. Actually, let me go have a word with him about it first, Mom. His name is Patrick, right? Oh, what a wonderful name. Now, why do you have to go talk with him and get his permission? He was the one that married you without my permission back when you ran away from us after all. Mom, what has gotten into you? You're acting just a tiny bit strange right now. Also, when you have that baby of yours, you'll be getting some money and stuff from your friends and husband's family, right? I would really like to talk with him about that money. So now, would you please give me Patrick's number so that I may call him? I can't, Mom. I'm sorry. What do you mean you can't give me his number? Excuse me, Gracie? Respond to me right now.
Hey, Gracie? I just got a call from one of your old classmates from high school. They were saying that a Patrick is looking for you right now. Tell me, what the hell is that all about? Isn't Patrick the guy you were dating way back in junior and senior year?
I am married to Patrick now, actually. 5 years ago, him and I met again at a class reunion that was being held, and, well, things just got going from there. And this baby I'm carrying, it's Patrick's kid.
Is that right? I remember him being a pretty good man back in the day. So, what's going on here?
I'm sure you can already tell after that call, right?
Well, I have a couple of guesses, but the one that seems to make the most sense is that you went and cheated on Patrick, and when he started asking for a settlement from you, you ran. And that brought you all the way back here, right? But look, what are you going to be able to do once that baby is born? You can't keep running from him forever, can you?
I know that already. But I can't pay the amount he's asking for, so I had no other choice but to run. That's why I came all the way back to Mom and Dad's place, hoping they'd be able to help me out financially. But those two don't have any money whatsoever, and it's to the point where they might need to sell the house.
No way, you can't sell the house. Both Mom and Dad took a major loan out on that place and are still paying it off.
What?
And unfortunately, the only inheritance those two will be leaving behind will be that house. Although, I'm not even sure if it'll be paid off by then. So as of right now, there's no way you can sell it.
I see. Then what am I going to do here?
How about you ask the man you cheated on Patrick with for help?
I can't. That man's wife also found out about what was going on, and I'm no longer able to get any responses from him.
So you both were cheating. You really have been having the time of your life, huh?
None of this has been fun, though. What should I be doing here, Tiffany? Mom went and took both my purse and wallet from me and won't give them back. Patrick is out looking for me right now, wanting his money. I don't have any money right now. There's a kid coming soon, and I have nobody else to ask for help. What am I going to do?
How about, for starters, you tell Patrick where you're at right now?
Huh?
He will come to see you, and then you both can head to the hospital together. There you can then have your baby, right?
Why would you think I can do all of that?
Well, it's either you have that man come and get you, or you stay at that house with Mom and Dad and wait for Mom to be arrested. Which situation would you like to be a part of? Will you be able to continue running with that massive gut of yours?
I can't run anymore.
Then you listen to me and don't say a word. I'll be coming to you soon with Patrick, all right? I am extremely pissed off with you, but you are supposed to be having that baby soon, and I do not want that baby being born on the street.
Tiffany, I have finally started to realize something. You weren't acting all high and mighty all this time. You just happen to be a well-put-together woman who's able to take action whenever you need to.
What?
And the only reason I was able to live my life so freely for so long was because of what you were doing. And with both Mom and Dad, you took action and made sure to care for them when I ran off and Dad's company went under, right? That's the kind of strong and independent woman you are. But Tiffany, why did you waste all your time caring for those two worthless losers?
So you're finally starting to see some of the larger picture. I did take action and looked after Mom and Dad all this time because I'm their daughter. And I have to thank you for my ability to put up with everything for so long. If it wasn't for you always being spoiled by Mom and Dad while always treating me like crap, then I would have never started to hate you. And well, that hate played a key role in becoming more strong and independent.
Tiffany, I hope you being my older sister will make you forgive me someday.
Huh? Who's your older sister? I never said that I was still your older sister, and there's never going to be a day where I go back to being one. Did you forget about the day you all kicked me out of that house and you threw all my expensive things out into the yard, breaking them? Even though I said I was coming home to get them all from you? Yeah, well, if you forgot about that, at least you've been reminded about it now. I'm going to make sure you pay for all that stuff you broke.
What?
You thought I just let you get away with that crap? I want to make sure you're held responsible for that stunt, and this is how I'll make that happen. I want you to pay for all the things of mine you broke, and then I want you to pay that settlement Patrick is asking you for.
But I told you I have no more money. How many times am I going to have to say that to you?
You just think that because you have no money, you don't have to pay for anything? I'm sorry, but you're not in elementary school anymore, Grace. You go out and get yourself a damn job, or you find someone to borrow money from right now. If you're not able to do either of those things, then don't ever expect to be helped by anyone.
All right already.
All right then. That better be a promise. I'll be bringing along official documents as well, so make sure you read and sign all of them, okay?
Why has this happened to me?
Because you thought you could run away and then leech off Mom and Dad's money.
Hey, Tiffany, what the hell are you up to right now? You just took Gracie away from us. If you're taking her away, then you come back to this house and take her place.
Mom, give it the hell up already. How about instead of using your daughters for every little thing, you actually get off your ass and do something? I've had enough of your crap, and so has Gracie now. She also can't bother with you both now because she has a baby to give birth to.
You and Gracie have always hated one another though, right? Why did you come back here to help her get away? When Gracie has that kid, she'll be getting all kinds of money from her husband's family and friends.
No matter how much I hate her and she hates me, I'm still human. And considering she's my little sister, I have to do something to get her out of harm's way. If she had to stay with you any longer, you'd most likely get her and that baby killed taking all her things.
Did you just tell your own mom that she'd get your sister and her baby killed?
I sure did. And that's because you and Dad are terrible people. The worst. I have had to watch you all my life taking money not only from me, but from your younger daughter now who is going to have a baby. I already hated the fact that you and Dad took advantage of me, but I was at least making enough money with my job to make things work. But I'm out of that situation you guys have made for yourselves now. And I think by losing both your daughters, you have a good chance to turn yourselves around.
How dare you talk about your dad and I like that? Shut the hell up and come home right now. Tonight the damn collector is coming here. If I have to tell them I can't pay them tonight, who knows what'll happen to us?
Well, luckily for me, I don't care what happens. Hopefully something so bad that I never have to hear from you again.
Huh? No, wait, this is all your fault. It's all your fault that things have turned out like this, so you'll be to blame for everything.
And this is why you're no longer worth anything to me. Always have to blame everyone but yourself. It's kind of like you got so used to being spoiled by Dad and his company that you forgot what it was like to be a decent human being. Well, thank God those people you got into debt with aren't very into spoiling people. Let's hope tonight is not the night you and Dad both get what's been coming to you. After that, I had Gracie taken to the hospital, and there she had her baby while also having to be watched by her husband, who was very upset. Although something like having her first child should have been one of the best memories for her, she was also met by a lawyer that Patrick brought along, stating there'd be a divorce and that she'd have to pay up. There was also the bills coming from me for all those things of mine she broke out in the front yard. So really, you could say the day she ended up having her first child will go down as one of the worst memories she'll ever have. As for how she'd be paying everyone, she didn't have any money herself, so she had to start getting some loans from very shadowy people. And the day after giving birth, her baby was taken by Patrick. Now Gracie is out of the hospital and has started to work on finding multiple jobs for herself so that she can begin the long process of paying her debt off. I still keep in touch with her from time to time, but only to see if she's still alive and to make sure she's paying the child support she owes her ex every month. When it comes to my mom and dad, they both had no means of paying off the debt collectors that night and ran away from their house. They were able to stay on the run for a few days, but soon their luck was up and they were caught. The last thing I got from them was a text from my dad saying that he had taken care of mom and they were coming for him next. I'm not too sure if that means what I think it means, but if that's the case, then so be it. I guess those two should have taken life a bit more seriously years ago, but I'm not really complaining. As for myself and how things turned out, I moved a town over and I'm living in a newly renovated townhouse by myself. Not having to take care of those two rotten parents has really left me feeling healthy again and like I can breathe some fresh air in for once. I might be in my 40s now, but I'm finally feeling like the freedoms of being an adult have finally come true for me. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.